Hey, Susie, it's been a fucking year.
Since?
The last podcast.
Oh.
Do you remember that? We talked about Scooby-Doo.
I remember, and Buff Shaggy commented.
He did.
I hope he comments again.
Shout out to Buff Shaggy. You freak of fucking nature. Also, I guess you're just like the official co-host now because Matt died.
Well, yeah, no, Matt. I mean, like, rest in peace, that guy. Yeah. But, like, I mean, like, yeah, I have kind of taken over.
It's unfortunate.
It is, didn't he? Like, he got, like, AIDS, and then on his way to, like say goodbye to his family, he got in a car wreck.
Yeah.
I remember that. And then you called me up, and you're like, do you want to make a podcast? And I said, who is this? And then you explained it, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I love movies.
So,
Actually, correction, I hate movies.
Oh.
And this new Star Wars film has definitely been a deciding factor in that. Yep. Oh, look at that. I segued. I segued into the thing we're talking about.
You segued real good.
Today in the Universe.
So, Susie, positive all around? You like this movie?
I hate this movie, actually. Oh. It's my least favorite Star Wars movie. I don't really count the prequels as Star Wars films because they don't do anything to the overall plot at all. But these do. And they're insulting.
The prequels do stuff to the plot. It's just stuff you don't want. It's midichlorians and nonsense like that, you know?
But those don't even affect the plot because they don't, like, because they're not in the other movies.
They're world-building tools that are really bad.
Yeah, they're building on the lore, like, retroactively.
You know, to me, the prequels aren't even movies. They're like, it's a character study. Whenever I watch the prequels, I am diving into the mind of George Lucas because he had full control, at least over the first.
Yeah, and George Lucas actually has Down syndrome, so I mean, that's about all you're gonna get from him. Like, I mean, come on, like his beard like grows like over his mouth, like
That's not his fault.
Got a big old underbite, that boy.
You do, George.
Guys, what if the Force was in your blood?
George, that undermines all the magic of the Force and the mystery.
No.
It's funny. Have you ever seen in the behind-the-scenes extras of, I think, Attack of the Clones? Which one is it where Yoda fights for the first time? He fights Count Dooku, I think.
That might be Attack of the Clones.
Okay, yeah, I don't fucking know. But it's great. There's this behind-the-scenes like DVD extra, and it's George Lucas and a bunch of like animators like, all right, George, this is the first time we've seen Yoda fight. This is important. What color is Yoda's blood? And George goes, green. Green?
Green?
It's great because it shows
like
the mindset of the man.
Yoda,
and it is just whatever.
Yoda's such a piece of shit dickhead in the prequels, and I hate him in the prequels, even though he's my favorite character in the trilogy.
Explain piece of shit dickhead Yoda.
Because he's a bitch ass dickhead to the kid, and then he's like, he fights people, which by the way is not what he believes the Force is for. And also like he's like a general, like he's commanding clones and like telling and like good warriors destroy Palestine we must. And he bleeds green.
He bleeds green. Kind of George Lucas's.
It'd be really funny if he like bled like human skin color flesh. Like, why does he bleed? Why doesn't he like emit like
he emits light? And
like he emits light, and then like the light exits him, and he deflates like a balloon. And he'd be like, no.
You just hear like a whistling sound. He's cauterizing the wound with his lightsaber.
This is not. Long time this will take. Deflate lots, I will.
What happened?
Inflation fetish I had. No more I do. For girl I did. So that's what the prequels are actually all about. Is Yoda's inflation fetish, and then he gets rid of it, and then Luke comes and he's like, "Can I inflate you?" And he's like, "No, not what the Force is for. Let me ride your back."
They walk around the swamp for a bit.
I'm your backpack. Put things in me. Not my mouth. No, not my ears.
This is new kink.
There's something else.
Oh my god. You know, Susie, ever since the first trailer came out and you immediately hear the Palpatine laugh, that was when I knew something was wrong. Right?
I thought that they were going to do something with like The Mandalorian or something about it. I didn't know when The Mandalorian took place at that time, though.
Okay.
I literally just thought, I was like, oh, they're bringing him back for something. Maybe the game. I don't know. and never in my life suspected he would be in that because I had faith.
I purposefully did not watch. I avoided like all media.
I don't watch trailers anymore.
I
hate trailers, so I don't watch them.
So I went in completely cold. All I knew was that very, very first teaser with Rey jumping over Kylo's fucking TIE fighter, whatever.
Yes.
And
which looked cool.
You hear the Palpatine laugh at the end, right? So all I knew going in was that like, oh, maybe he's like a Force ghost or something.
I was about to say, I was like, he's probably a Force ghost, like if anything.
Literally 2 seconds in, the text crawl.
Yeah,
Palpatine's back.
Do you have a copy of the title scroll or the text scroll? Because if you could, we could tear that apart.
I can't find the title.
Because the most explanation you get is the title scroll.
Yeah.
And the and then Palpatine saying that some people would consider powers you get from the dark side unnatural. That's what he says.
Yeah. I mean, it's
your
like
whole explanation.
It literally says that he's like broadcasting out too.
Yeah. Calling all Sith. First 5,000 callers get tickets to Supertramp.
No. They give him tickets to the planet that he's on, Exegol.
Yeah, Exegol. Dear all of my followers, of which I'm certain I have many, I was only the most evil man in the universe.
So, this movie opens, and it's immediately trying to set up 1,000 things all at once. It's jumping around. The pacing is just terrible. It is so fast-paced. Because
here's the thing. They have to establish all the bullshit that wasn't established in the other movies.
Yes, this movie...
They had to make up for the lost time of 2 fucking movies.
Yeah. Honestly, it's... We'll get to how
offensive.
Anti-Last Jedi it is.
It's offensive. They're like, they're dumb. They're not going to notice. There's no other thought process that they could have.
The movie begins with an action scene that is Kylo Ren, like the First Order, trying to find a Sith device called a Wayfinder, which is basically a map to the planet.
It's a fucking shit cube.
Yeah.
It's literally the Obama meme. It's the fucking pyramid that you plug guitar cables into. No shit, it's guitar cables.
Yeah, so they use this Wayfinder and they go to, I almost said Mustafar. That's where the Wayfinder is on. I didn't know that.
It's on Mustafar, that's where Darth Vader got his legs cut off?
I don't fucking know.
I swear to God it is. Let me look it up.
Something like that.
Hold on.
My prequel knowledge is not very good, Susie.
Anakin.
Because I'll be honest, this is a franchise we're talking about that I think should have ended in, what was it,
It should have ended after the first movie.
Yeah. No, what the fuck, no! Okay. However, A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie. I know Empire is objectively better, but I love the quaintness of A New Hope.
My favorite is A New Hope.
Okay.
My favorite is A New Hope. Right, it's the best one. It's like, it's the one where I'm like, if I saw this in theaters with no previous knowledge of Star Wars, I would love it.
Yeah.
Whereas like the second one, like, if I saw that after seeing the first one, I'd probably still think the first one's a lot better.
I think Empire is objectively better. I just love A New Hope. I really love A New Hope.
Yeah, no, the Battle of Mustafar. That's the one with Anakin and Obi.
Okay.
I knew that. I know that because I read the comics because I care about Star Wars a lot.
Alright, so they're on Exegol. Palpatine's like, look at my jar of Snokes! You know, they're just hanging out.
Look at my jar of Snokes. And get this. Raise my granddaughter. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so Snoke just like, not Snoke, sorry, Palpatine, apparently. They're the same fucking character.
The same guy, yeah.
They're the same fucking character now.
And it's implied that he's a clone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's implied that he's, I have died many times. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I've died many times. You know what I really like, though? Whenever you see him at the end and he's in his weird little, like, dark castle thing, and he's just, like, hanging on his, like, fucking, like...
In his life support?
Yeah, his fucking life support. He's plugged into
Who made that for him?
He must have made it, because if you remember, alright, so
Palpatine
has an army in this movie, like this giant, like, armada.
It's a cult. Yeah, it's a cult of, like, his followers.
He's got this armada of Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
And he's like, I willed them into existence. Like, he just fucking made them. Like, I don't get it, because in Star Wars, like, these are machines. People build these. He just fucking willed them into existence. So it's not only life that he can create, but it's physical objects with the intricacies of a Star Destroyer.
No, we're not sure he can create life, because technically the intricacies of how Anakin was made inside of that girl isn't. It's just said he used the Force to do it.
Willed
So
him into
he could have jerked off into a cup and slipped it into the woman's vagina. He really could have, or maybe he Jedi mind tricked her into fucking him.
Oh yeah, so let's go back to Rey being Palpatine's granddaughter. All right, so this is plot point 1 of them being anti-Last Jedi.
Of many.
People, it's very well known that Last Jedi is not very liked by a lot of people. There's a lot of ideas in there that I quite like, okay? But
I do too.
There's some poor execution, and it's just this... I like it, but it is a mess. Like, the movie's a mess.
Bless this mess.
It's, but it created this weird divide in the Star Wars community that was literally unheard of. Like, I've never seen people hate it.
Yeah, like, people, unheard of until people started saying, actually, the prequels are good.
Yeah, can we tell
the worst thing
to just
ever.
Fucking stop. Just because something isn't great doesn't mean anything before it is better. It doesn't, you can't lift something else up.
Yeah, just because another thing is bad doesn't mean that the thing that is also bad.
The prequels are fucking awful.
But here's the thing. They liked the prequels before, and they didn't say anything about it because they were embarrassed to like it. That's the honest-to-God truth about it.
I mean, fair enough. But, yeah, so this is plot point 1 of them going, remember that in Last Jedi? Like, Rey, who's your parents? They're nobody. Because that's the only thing Rian Johnson could do.
They're nobody, dude.
That was
because
the only
that
thing he could do
something.
that was interesting.
They're nobody, and you are not the chosen one. So you're not going to defeat me, and this is your character struggle. Take that, bitch.
Yeah. And then
this is a powerful moment.
Fuck it, you are someone. Don't worry.
Actually, JK, your parents were nobody because we're not going to explain who they were, but your grandpappy.
Your grandpappy.
And also, Kylo Ren does reiterate, he's like, I never lied, your parents are nobody, just your grandpa is. And also, another thing that's not explained is which one is Palpatine's kid.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you.
Who is technically Anakin's half-brother.
What if it was like
or half-sister.
What if it's like a close-up on her dad, and he's like, you're gonna be okay. Then it cuts to the mom, she looks just like fucking
Yeah, she
Palpatine,
looks like Palpatine.
Just
and she's like,
up.
honey, I'm scared.
It's fucking terrible.
And then Palpatine never mentioned it because he's like, God, I really fucked up with her. Yeah.
They were both my children.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just got together.
I love incest.
There's another incest kiss.
Yeah, there's another incest kiss.
There's another incest kiss in this movie.
And it's super unmotivated.
Rey and
like
Kylo
Luke
Ren.
Luke and Leia, I somewhat understand.
Yeah.
Or I understood rather.
It was almost like Leia was doing it to get back at Han for being like a hot-headed
It was.
douchebag.
It totally was.
And she didn't know. They didn't know.
Yeah,
They knew. Rey and Kylo Ren knew they were fucking related, and they still did it. That's what's bad.
Yeah.
They still were like,
it was after learning that.
It was the very end of the movie.
Or does Anakin know that Palpatine's his dad?
Does Anakin know Palpatine?
Did Anakin know to then tell Luke or Leia?
I mean, even if I don't think he knew, but even if he did know, like, Luke and
also,
Leia were gone.
A little comment, Palpatine, can see the future, so maybe he just really wanted them to kiss.
That was his goal.
This is my headcanon, and I'll ship it till I die.
I don't understand the motivation behind it. Rey and Kylo have had tension in the past 2 movies, especially.
But the tension really just kind of feels like emotional, like they don't want to kill each other, but they really have to.
Yeah, it
didn't feel sexual
like an
or
understanding
romantic.
of the enemy kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
Almost a weird vulnerability
because
both of them.
Kylo had some pretty solid motivation.
The
old ways must die.
Yeah.
The Jedi and Sith have been fighting for years and years, and nothing's worked, so we have to change it. You, a Jedi, and me, a Sith, we can join hands, and let's fucking rework the universe. And then Rey's like, this is what she sounds like to me, because she means nothing to me, and I hate her.
You don't like Rey?
Not anymore.
Well, okay, all right, fair. I thought Rey was all right in this movie.
No.
The stupid Palpatine thing didn't
I don't know. Every
character.
chance she had to be a good character was squandered. So maybe.
Explain.
I mean, it's not her fault.
Like, give me, explain.
Like on how she's a shit character. She's never given anything interesting to do, and also she can do things that no Jedi ever has been able to do.
That does annoy me.
Which annoys the shit out of me.
Stupid powers.
So she's poorly written, therefore I don't like her. It's not the idea of her that I don't like.
Right.
I'm fine with the idea of a nobody being a powerful Force user and bringing balance to the Force when no one thought she would. That's an idea I'm totally okay with. But now she's Palpatine's granddaughter, and she can use Force healing.
The Force healing annoyed me to no end. Because that's come out.
And you
can
know,
you explain where that came from?
Yes. So here's the thing. It's never been in any book, any video game, any comic, any movie ever, and it was only written for this movie. But they realized that people would notice that really, really quickly, and so they put it in an episode of The Mandalorian, which came out the weekend, or not even the weekend, 2 days before fucking Rise of Skywalker came out.
It came out the Wednesday before.
The Wednesday before. And the fact that they thought they're like, no one will notice now is so offensive and insulting that I hate it.
See, I'm the one person on the planet who hasn't actually watched The Mandalorian.
I don't watch The Mandalorian, I just know about that.
But if I saw that, I'd be very fucking annoyed. And even if I went to see, what's this movie called? Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker.
Even if I went to see this in theaters after having seen the episode of The Mandalorian, I'd be equally annoyed because I just know it was Disney going, hey, put that in, please.
Ah, fuck. Guys, there's no plot convenience here. We need one.
Yeah.
I mean, like, here's the thing. You don't even need the Force healing because, like, Kylo falls off a giant fucking balcony and he's fine. He didn't need Force healing to get back up. So, I mean, like, why not just say, oh, they survived anyway?
What was the point of introducing the Force healing? Like, what did it do?
Nothing.
Overall.
It made it so that Kylo could sacrifice himself for Rey.
So why didn't they just have a fight scene where he, like, jumps in front of, like, a fucking lightsaber?
Exactly. Also, why didn't Palpatine stop shooting lightning?
Why did he have so fucking much? That's what I don't know. That shit went into the sky.
Oh, because there's two, because of the power of a dyad. Remember? There's two people who have a strong bond. And so absorbing their life force makes him ultimately powerful. I don't know why he never did that with Qui-Gon Jinn and Kenobi, or Anakin and Kenobi, or Yoda and Luke, or anyone, any dyad in the fucking Star Wars movies. Never heard of the power of two. I've heard of the rule of two. The rule of two, the two is that there can only be two Sith Lords at a time. Or not Sith Lords, but like there can only be two Sith at a time. Right. An apprentice and a master. But that's not a power, that's a rule!
I think it's for plot convenience, Susie.
Oh, no.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. Come on, it's Star Wars.
Kyler, that's retarded.
I'm sorry.
That's preposterous.
Can we talk about how the Force healing is introduced?
Rey heals a snake.
I mean, that's the gist of it. So they're on their second side quest of the movie.
Oh my god, I have so much to say about this side quest.
Yeah. They're looking for their MacGuffin. The second MacGuffin of the 5 MacGuffins.
Yes, they're looking for the delicious Egg McMuffin that Luke said some guy kind of had maybe on this planet, but he's not sure, in a book that he wrote that Rey happens to have because she's studying him. Because that was well established in episode nothing. And so, like, she's like, oh, I remember this symbol from this book. And Luke said this guy had the delicious Egg McMuffin. So we got to go get it. And they go to the planet and they can't find it. And they can't find the guy. And then these stormtroopers, they start chasing them. It's a big chase scene because Kylo's tracking them or something. I don't know.
How did they get...
Remember, there's fucking desert Mardi Gras coming.
And they're at Burning Man. They're at weird space Burning Man.
Space Burning Man with all the space Indians. And
we got to talk about something really funny in a second about that scene. Do you remember when Rey she's watching the weird little kids at Burning Man, and then one just comes up and like puts a necklace around her, and then the little kid's like, "What's your name? Your last name?"
Hey, what's your name? Oh, my name's Rey. She would like to know your family name. Oh, I don't have any family name.
I'm Rey Solo.
No, I was supposed to say so, and then the baby goes, oh, Solo then. I'm Rey Star Wars.
I'm Rey Star Wars. Here we go. We gotta find the MacGuffin to get the Egg McMuffin.
We gotta find the delicious Egg McMuffin. And so they get chased down, right? Also, I gotta say, there was this really cool part where he like grabs the necklace off of her with the like. That was cool, in my opinion. Him, like, grabbing it off of her. A good way to... I don't know. It was interesting.
I don't remember.
And at least that power was kind of established. You couldn't move objects in the other two movies, but at least like the Force talking was established. And so pushing it that extra mile and like having him grab the necklace off of her neck,
right,
even though he's not physically there, is very interesting. In my opinion. Not done amazingly, but still kind of interesting.
So what happens at Space Burning Man?
Space Burning Man, the Egg McMuffin, and so they need to find it, and so they I guess I don't know. I went up to pee. They see Lando.
Remember, yeah, Lando pops up and he's in this weird little costume. And the second he's on screen, I'm like, that's Lando.
Yeah, it's Lando. Because of course
it's
Lando.
Gotta be Lando. And he's just there to basically say hi, bye, and he's gone.
Hey, I'm here. By the way, I knew once where the delicious Egg McMuffin is. It was at McDonald's on their delicious, delectable dollar menu.
It's not on the dollar menu. But anyway.
I don't know.
They go to try and find it.
Yeah, they go to try to find it, but then they get chased instead. And through this chase, which, by the way, Finn, who is a defecting clone trooper, has no problem killing other, or stormtroopers. He has no problem killing those guys at all. He's fine with it. He thinks it's totally cool. In fact, so cool that he shouts "woo" when he does it. And then even continues to do it after meeting even more defectors who all defected to that one planet. And he's force sensitive, but we'll get to that later. And so they go getting chased, and then they get their ship blown up because they're not paying attention.
Right.
And then they get flung directly into this conveniently placed. This cave is it's the Cave of Wonders, and they find the dead guy who they're looking for, and they find what else but the delicious Egg McMuffin.
They find what they're looking for.
Yeah, and get this. The ancient Sith language is inscribed in it, so they can't read it. So they're like, "Oh fuck, we can't read this."
What'd you think of that? So C-3PO,
C-3PO, yeah. See, that's what I was getting to.
Universal translator.
C-3PO he can read it, but he can't translate it. It's like, why would you translate him? Like, why would you make him be able to read it if he can't do anything with that information?
The C-3PO operating system, they just have Home Edition. They need Pro Edition.
Yeah, you need to pay it's an in-app purchase.
Yeah.
You have to use R2.
And they'd rather just wipe his total fucking memory.
Oh, which doesn't even matter.
Yeah, because he just gets it right back.
Yeah.
But whatever, so yeah.
Yeah, also
Let's talk about death fake-outs. How many are in this movie?
2, at least.
It's ridiculous.
At least 2.
That's fucking ridiculous. There should be 0.
Yeah.
C-3PO has a sacrifice in this movie because, like Susie said...
You'd have to override his system to make him translate it, and that would erase his memory because you're replacing his normal OS with a Sith OS, so it makes him forget everything, and then he decides himself after being pressured by all of his friends that he'd be a bad person if he didn't do it.
Well, it's funny because
he does it, and
they're pretty much bullying C-3PO into doing this, and C-3PO walks away and then turns around, and they're like, "What were you doing?" Looking at my friend.
And then they're like, "Well, stop it. We gotta do this.
We gotta kill you, dude. Come here."
Yeah, sorry. Hey, shut up, real quick. And so they go to Marketing Man, the new plush toy everyone's talking about, and they're like, "Sir, who's cuter than Baby Yoda? Will you please fucking fix our robot or kill him?" I guess. Also, it's C-3PO briefly mentions, he's like, "Oh, well, R2 has backups of me, but their memory systems have been known to be dodgy, so I already knew he was gonna get his memory back by, Leia's heart monitor," which is what that's what R2's doing the whole movie. Do you remember the fucking Claude? Do you remember Claude? Claude is that big random alien that's in the first scene. Do you not remember?
No. Susie, do I need to rewatch this stupid movie?
You might, actually, if you don't remember Claude, dude.
Claude. Who's Claude?
He's just this big slug monster who's in the first scene for no reason.
Yeah, I legit have no idea.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm
checked out.
I know.
That was me in the theater. I'm checked out, or just screaming.
I did check out a little bit around the end. I was very upset by that movie. So C-3PO gets his memory wiped. Chewie gets killed and immediately brought back like a minute after.
We have to talk about the pacing. I know we have a little bit.
Well, here's the thing.
Entire movie
Here's the
is
thing.
breakneck.
The movie is as well paced as this fucking podcast.
If not
This
worse.
non-scripted podcast where we're jumping all out and about everything we can think of in the movie. They do the exact same thing.
There's literally a 5-minute scene in which Chewie gets kidnapped, blown up,
murdered by Rey, which was powerful for a second. It caught my attention, after I started like punching the child next to me or something. I don't know. Like I wasn't focused.
But within 5 minutes, Chewie is kidnapped, murdered, and brought back to life.
Not even brought back to life.
Well,
it was
just revealed.
He was
to
on
be alive.
another ship, guys.
Just revealed to be alive.
See, because I wanna have powerful moments, but I don't want to have consequences.
That's the thing. None of the moments mean anything. Imagine watching this movie, which... Did anybody really think Chewie was going to die like that? With Rey using Palpatine lightning out of her hands?
I would have loved it if he did, because,
It would have made me laugh.
I wouldn't have even made me laugh. I would have been like, holy shit, Rey has to deal with this now.
I don't know.
How is she going to deal with that? That's crazy.
I don't know. I feel like that's a dumb way to send off a character like that.
Well, I mean, that's not dumb. I mean, like...
it's dumb to me, not because Rey killed Chewie, but because... Oh yeah, this is the movie where we established that Rey is a fucking Sith Lord, pretty much, and has Sith lightning. And that's how he died.
Yeah, literal Sith lightning, which I'm pretty sure people know is called Sith lightning. Like, I swear people know that that's the name of it, and that Jedi don't use it. And then,
they use it now.
I mean, I guess they do. I can't argue. I do suppose they do.
Remember at the end of the movie when Rey uses her Sith lightning on Palpatine and his face fucking melts away?
I wish, but
no, for real. Do you remember Palpatine?
No, remember he doesn't. She has a lightsaber and she's blocking the lightning.
Oh yeah,
and then she's kind of losing.
Yeah.
And then she uses the power of cum, and she pulls Leia's lightsaber out of her pussy and lights it up. And then crosses the lightsabers, and then reflects the lightning back at Palpatine. And then Palpatine's like, should I stop blowing lightning? Well, if I stop blowing lightning, then I guess I might, I got to deal with this. I got to figure this out. So he does like his own he thinks about a whole TED talk and makes a pro and con list about whether or not he should or should not, in fact, stop using the lightning. And then by the time he decides, he's like, shit, I did it again. I zapped myself. Oh, I'm dead now. Because he couldn't stop himself.
Palpatine has zapped himself twice now in two separate
help me,
two separate.
Yeah, no, remember, that's why Mace Windu dies, because he's trying to zap Mace Windu, and then Mace Windu's blocking it with his lightsaber, and then instead of stopping, he turns to Anakin. He's like, "Please help me," and then Anakin's like, "Just stop using the lightning." He says, "I don't know."
All right, I think a really big problem with this movie is just the fact that it, at all times, is at such a breakneck pace. They introduce characters, then they leave.
Which there are movies that I just feel like I should mention. There are movies that I really like that never slow down.
Let me talk about why this doesn't work. But it's
done well,
this is
and
the
it doesn't
third
work
part
here.
in a 3-act trilogy in which almost everything is new and having to be set up and have a full arc for. Like, okay, let's talk about,
Exactly, no, that's the thing. It doesn't work here.
Yeah, Poe Dameron gets, a love interest in this movie. She shows up, and then she's gone. She shows up for a scene. She's like, oh, Poe, I hate you, but never mind, I still love you.
Poe,
Anyway,
I hate you,
here's
but
the key to get onto any ship,
dude.
No matter what ship you're flying, just put this key in. They'll be like, all right, come on. It's really dumb, but whatever. That's what they use it for.
Poe, I have something for you. And then she crinkles, the paper, and she, reaches out of her pocket and, hands it to him, and he's like, it's an Egg McMuffin. I never thought I'd see one.
It's another MacGuffin.
Because, they're looking for a way to get on the ships, right?
And then they get it. It's literally
hey,
a get out of jail free card.
You don't got to work for it. You don't got to worry about it. You don't have to do anything clever. You just got to show them this.
That actress, she's literally doesn't take her mask off. And she's
she reveals her eyes for
maybe
a second.
A total of 4 minutes.
Which I like. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with casting great actors to do nothing.
Well, what I'm trying to highlight, though, isn't the fact that she's underused, but just the unbelievable pacing. It's introduce and get rid of. The second that they've had that they've been established. It's like, all right, what do we need you for? Okay, that. All right, check.
Yeah.
Gone.
You know, as fast as you can say, what? Han Solo's in this movie? Again? Why? I thought he died. He's there and he's gone.
Yeah.
As fast as you could say that.
How much do you think they had to pay Harrison Ford to
Fuck,
get him back in this movie?
$1 billion, I'd hope. I hope he was like, no, I don't want to do that
I don't
ever
want to
again.
do it. I'm sick of it. You said when I died that was it.
I pistol whipped fucking... You said I would never be allowed to work with you guys again because I pistol whipped George Lucas. That's why I fucking pistol whipped George Lucas, so that I never had to work with you fuckers again. What do you want? I don't care that the fans love me. I fucking hate Star Wars. Do you guys not understand? Where's the next Indiana Jones? I'm gonna murder all of you.
That is weird to me that he wants to be Indiana Jones still.
Yeah, he loves it.
You'd think he'd hate it just as much as Han Solo, but he seems upset when people talk about replacing him.
Indiana Jones is like the coolest fucking guy ever. Who wouldn't want to be Indiana Jones?
He's an archaeologist who his students are always trying to like get with.
I want to fuck you so bad.
I want my eyelids.
And he's like, sorry, you better get behind the Prophet Muhammad. He also wants to fuck me. Everybody wants to fuck me. I am the great Indiana
Harrison Ford.
Jones.
No, if you just said I'm Harrison Ford, like in the movie.
Actually, I'm Harrison Ford. Oh my god, I fucking hate... I don't know. I really thought... I told Kyler when I was on my way to his house, I was like, you know what? I'm going to write a script. I'm going to figure out... Or not write a script, but like write me some talking points about the movie. But I was just so full of rage. I was like, I will never give this movie that much attention. And you might be like, well, you're recording like what? Like an hour-long so far podcast. So you must be paying attention. I'm literally drawing the thumbnail as we speak. Not really focusing too hard on it. I'm actually drawing the thumbnail.
Honestly, I think it's impressive.
It's coming out pretty good so far. I think Kyler's gonna love it.
I hope so.
I hope you guys love it, but not that much.
I know we're just jumping around. Literally, like the first thing that pops in our head, we're going to
It's
that.
exactly
and that.
like that in the movie.
But
Welcome to watching the Star Wars movie.
You're experiencing it. But anyway, in the moment where they're falling through the Indiana Jones quicksand, Finn shouts out, "Hey, Ray, I gotta tell you something."
Ray, I gotta tell you something, and then you never find out officially.
You never figure out what he's gonna say. It's like they forgot.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel intentionally left like ambiguous. It feels like they forgot. Because later on in the movie, Poe's like, "Hey, so what were you gonna say to Ray?"
And then he's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up!
Okay, I just want to kiss you so bad, okay? Stop talking to me. I'm going to kiss you. I'm going to kiss you, my little baby darling. Please stop. I can't
never
control
find
myself around you. You know that.
And obviously, it sounds like they're setting up a cliched like love trope. Like, Ray,
I love you. I know I kissed that Asian lady, and it also kind of looks like I have sexual tension between that other black girl. But, oh yeah, there's three black Star Wars characters now, and they're all implied to be related. The last, like, I think, like, the last line of the movie is, like, it's like, hey, Lando. It's like, hey, Lando, where are you from? And then he's like, oh, I'm from the Cloud City. And then he's like, how about you? Where are you from? And then she's like, I don't know. And then he says, oh, well, let's find out. And it's like, it sounds sexual.
What does that mean?
Let's find out. I don't know. It sounds like they're implying that they're somehow related.
See, that's what I thought too, but I'm like, it's too stupid. Even for this movie,
I was like,
too
even
stupid.
if that was what they meant, like, why would you say it like that? Why would that be your phrasing?
It's too stupid, even for this movie.
Exactly, so I don't want to believe it. They should have just got, like, Childish Gambino and put old man makeup on him. That would have been funny. Over
actual Lando.
Yeah, even though actual Lando's, like, perfectly available.
Look, Billy D. Williams, man. He's busy.
I think you mean Lionel Richie.
He's pretty much, I'm sure when The Force Awakens was coming out, he was like, Disney, please.
Hey, you'll CGI dead Carrie Fisher,
Remember
but you
Lando?
won't even ask me if I'm in it, you know? Hey, what's Lando doing in space at this time? You're hanging out with Indians. What? You're hanging out with space Indians. Why? What do you mean, why? I mean, why am I doing that? What's my motivation? What's your what? My motivation? I don't know what that is. What's the reason I do that? so that you can wear a funny costume and help our heroes in 30 years.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Is that established? No, what? Shut up.
You know, I gotta say, reading through the Star Wars wiki, just a little side point, it's just funny how blunt it is. Palpatine attacks her with his lightning. Rey deflects it using the Skywalker lightsaber. It kills him and herself. Ben revives Rey by transferring his life force into her. Rey kisses him and dies.
Rey kisses him and dies. You know?
Oh,
I like to imagine that if Kylo was like not literally dying, he would have pulled away from the kiss and been like, "Well, what the fuck? Don't do that. I did not ask for that. I did not want you to do that, Rey." And she's like, "Oh, I must have misread." And he's like, "Yeah, you really must have. Don't do that." I like to imagine that Rey really forced herself onto him. Because I love Kylo Ren. We could talk about that.
Kylo Ren, so far throughout these three movies, has probably been...
He's my favorite part.
The most...
I love his design, and I loved his cracked helmet in this. I loved the way his cracked helmet looked.
I didn't like the red. I thought it was a bit
I mean, it was dumb, but I would have liked it if it was just like kind of cracked. I thought the red was dumb because it's like I thought the red was like the heat of like welding it back together. So why
what it would be.
So why is it still there? Why does that persist?
Adam Driver saw it and he was like,
Creep up. Well, he's a yes man. Have you ever seen him in an interview? He just kind of agrees with everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a whole video about it. It's like Adam yes to anything Driver.
Adam Driver as Kylo Ren has been the most consistent part of this trilogy.
I mean, yeah, he really knows how to act. Oh, that and the black guy yelling Rey.
John Boyega.
John Boyega is such a great actor.
He is great.
And he's underused.
This
and
movie
used
has
insultingly.
the same problem as Return of the Jedi, in which that Han and Leia have nothing to do. They just play let's fight against this door for an hour.
Yeah.
And then in this movie, same thing with Poe and fucking Finn, which I do think they're probably better used than Leia and Han. Yeah. But even then, it's not a lot.
You know what I really felt in my soul?
What did you feel in your soul, Susie?
When John Boyega as Finn just goes, Rey!
Well, that happens about 80 times in this movie.
So I know, but the best part is when he tugs on her ear and yells it in her face.
Pulls her close to
him. Pulls her close and then opens her ear in a very cartoonish way and just goes, Rey! Rey, 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 Rey.
Hey, remember when General Hux turned out to be a traitor?
Spy.
He was a spy.
Well, oh, dude, I'm not even kidding. The dad of the kid who was next to me in the theater got mad at me because I'm a little autistic as fuck. And so when that happened, when it was revealed, oh, who's the spy? And he was like, wait, no, I want to do this myself. Hand me all 3 of your blasters.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm the spy. I went, oh, wow, what a twist. and then the guy was like, shut up. I went, fuck. Okay. But I could not hold it. I had to go, ooh, wow.
No, I understand. I mean, the second that Hux initiates the execution, you know that they're not.
Yeah, I knew he was the spy. He hates Kylo Ren. It's established in the last movie.
Honestly, if anyone was going to be a spy, that's good playing off the other movies. Even though that was totally not pre-planned, that worked out in their favor.
It worked out in their favor. Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. It sucks because I wanted to see it play out a little more.
Yeah.
He didn't need to, even if he didn't do anything, even if he just helped the slightest bit where he was like, oh guys, I'll let the shields down or something. Yeah. And then they find out and then he dies. He just needs to do more than oh, I didn't execute you.
Yeah. That's all he does.
That's all he does is
he gives them some information.
I'm here so that you can go get the McMuffin.
Yeah. No, for real, yeah. Because the second he's done,
the second he does that, he's like, shoot me in the arm. Yeah. Shoot me in the arm. Look at me. I
gotta make it look convincing, like you escaped.
And then he gets shot in the leg, and it's like, haha, funny.
Yeah, they shot him in the leg instead. But the second that this is just proof of the breakneck pace. He is set up as the traitor. He is used to save them. His character is done, so they kill him. He's dead.
And all of that in under 8 minutes.
The second that his character is done with, they kill him. The pacing is fucking insanity.
Yeah.
In the first 5 minutes, they jump from planet to planet to planet. They're going place to place to place to get the thing, to go to Palpatine, to realize that Rey is the granddaughter. So Kylo's like, I know too much. It's absolute madness.
The title scroll, I swear to God, feels like it
Like it has ADHD. Like it's just trying to go so the movie can happen.
Yes.
So...
It's like, I swear, it may as well have been written in all caps. The entire thing. Palpatine's back! Fucking, he sent it out a message! Oh, fuck. Rey's training, she doesn't have time! Chewbacca's on his period, it's
real bad.
Shit!
This movie has no breathing room. None of the plot points or characters have any time to have a moment.
It was written... They put the writers in a submarine, and they're like, you have until you run out of oxygen to finish the movie.
And then they fired all of them and brought on a second director, and they said, you do it again.
He's like, do it again, but you need to add something stupid. And he's like,
Palpatine! Oh!
In the first cuts, or not cuts, but first drafts for this movie, Palpatine was not going to be in it. It was only when Abrams joined on.
No, he was not going to be in it.
J.J. Abrams...
Because why would he be?
I think he really is a good choice as director.
I think so.
He really is. It's just... They should not leave this man alone to write these movies. And if they
or
were
make
to do
adaptations to a good script.
If they were to do that...
Give him supervision.
Let him write all three, because he wrote one. And then he passes it off to the next guy, literally like no ideas in hand for where it's going. And so Rian Johnson takes what is really kind of a super ultra safe Star Wars movie, and he's like, what do I do with this? So he does all he can to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, if it turned out that Rey is a Skywalker, that is the most boring thing you could have done. So what did he do? She's nobody. Like, who is Snoke? She's fucking no one.
She's not a Skywalker. She just identifies as one.
Oh, yeah. Rey?
What's your name? Rey. And she's like, Rey what? And she's like, Rey Palpatine. And then the old lady's like, what? She's like, no, I'm a good guy, though. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I killed him.
Yeah,
He's fucking dead. He'll be back, though. He's died a lot, apparently. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, how can you be so sure? Yeah.
The movie doesn't really make it very clear. That was his body that died. Is he still
the movie should end on the after credits scene. It's a shot of Palpatine's hand. It's just laying there dead, and then it starts twitching and crawling around looking for the rest of his body. He picks himself up like a retard.
I don't like the fact that Palpatine has had offspring. That means that disgusting.
He fucks, dude.
Palpatine fucks.
Or he slipped his semen into a woman.
Or he rapes. We don't know.
He totally rapes.
Yeah, probably.
He says, "Do it." And they say no, and then he says, "Do it anyway."
Look, I'm not a fan.
He borrows some chains from Jabba. Look, they're bad guys, all right. They rape.
In our Star Wars movie?
In our Star Wars. It's in Harry Potter.
When is rape in Harry Potter?
And Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Too.
I didn't see it, so...
Ezra Miller's a rape baby.
Oh.
And that's canon.
I don't like that.
I didn't think you would.
I just remember, we still haven't talked about all of the fuck you Rian Johnson moments. Like, how about when they're trying to take out the giant fleet that Palpatine has willed into existence? And they're like, what about the Holdo maneuver? It's like, oh, it's a 1 in a million shot. It's like, no, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. You just point a ship at something and you go real fast. That's
yeah,
it.
like, that's a 1 in a million shot, buddy.
It's really not.
Yeah, that's like me calling a 3-pointer a 1 in a million shot. It's like, maybe it's not likely, like as likely as you'd hope it'd be, but it's not a million.
Honestly, you got like 3 ships. Your chances are pretty good. You all point them at the same thing. The odds, they're in your favor.
Yeah.
I think the
Never
best one...
tell me the odds. Well, I mean, they're like 80%. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm glad you told me that. I was kind of hesitant.
I know a lot of people disagree with this, but to me, the most interesting part of The Last Jedi is the Luke stuff. Luke saying, you know what, the Jedi's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, hey, you know what? The Jedi have always failed, and maybe instead of trying again, we need to learn from their failure.
Yeah.
And then the next movie, he like grabs his lightsaber, even though he's a ghost, and he's like, Rey, what the fuck is your retarded ass doing?
This is the most
Rey,
important thing fucking ever.
And then Rey doesn't go, wait, I thought you said that the Jedi fail and that they suck. And then he's like they don't even mention
Rian
that.
Johnson said that. Me, Luke Skywalker? Nah, I don't say that.
Actually, I was possessed by another Force ghost of a man named Giant Ronson. And yeah, he's a Sith Lord. He was canceled by the Jedi.
It was canceled by the Jedi. His trilogy's gone now. They took it away.
It's sad.
Disney's. I don't know. I don't want more Star Wars.
Oh, dude! After this, I want no more Star Wars. Are you kidding
I
me?
haven't wanted more Star Wars. No, I was excited for The Force Awakens.
I was too, because it was like Star Wars movies that I got to see, even though that's
Yeah.
kind of greedy. That's my reason.
That's fair enough. Something to look forward to. But I honestly, it's a franchise that really would have benefited from ending in 1983 with the release of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, maybe it was just one of those maybe it's one of those movies where it's like, look at this, a true classic. Like imagine.
Honestly, there's a lot of argument to be had that Star Wars is a massive fucking fluke
It's a failure.
that got lucky.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're aware of how George Lucas's wife pretty much made A New Hope, right?
Not quite.
Okay, so George Lucas makes A New Hope, like he writes it, directs it, films everything, obviously. But the final cut of the movie was Phantom Menace level of just...
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
you know what? She was the editor, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
I knew that. I knew that
She-
the editor saved that movie.
That movie,
I forgot that it
it's
was
very
her.
famously saved in the editing. George Lucas's wife knows her shit. But, like, did you know that during the original Trench Run, there wasn't even a threat? They were just taking out the Death Star. The Death Star wasn't attacking the Rebel base. It was just sitting there.
Hilarious.
There was no timed threat. There's no stakes there. They're just going after something. That was added in post. Watch it.
I mean,
You'll
much
realize
like this
it's a bunch
movie.
of B footage with a countdown timer added over top, like Death Star in position in 10. You know, like it's great. It really is clever. It's awesome use of editing because it makes that final act. That movie was saved, and I feel like Empire it built off A New Hope perfectly. Who wrote it? I don't remember the name of the guy who wrote Empire, but fucking brilliant. He did all he could, and it's a perfect movie. It really is. Jedi is flawed, everyone knows that, but I feel like Star Wars just got lucky. I feel like George Lucas got lucky, and he got to ride that wave of, oh, I'm awesome, I made Star Wars, until he made the prequels, and then kind of called him out on his bullshit. Like,
I think it's Patton Oswalt who does this quote, but it's like, imagine this person came up to you and they're like, do you love your girlfriend? And then you're like, yeah. And then it's like, do you want to know where your girlfriend came from? And then you're like, yeah, of course. And then, like, he shows you a picture of her dad's balls. And she's like, this is where your girlfriend's from. This is all that she is. And it's like, wait, no, this is nothing about her. I mean, yeah, technically this is about her, but I mean, like, that's not really her. And he's like, no, it is.
Sure. Any final thoughts on Star Wars, the last Star Wars?
Okay, that's the most upsetting part, I think, arguably, is that this is the last Star Wars.
It's not. I'm fine with that. I think
it's upsetting because it's
this
this should not be the last Star Wars.
You know, writing-wise, because these movies have had no overarching plot, I think this is the worst tying up of a trilogy that Star Wars has had. Even the prequels, as bad as they are, at least the movies had overarching elements and it wrapped up at the end. It may have not been good,
yeah,
but it had that structure.
See, like, this is like
it's chaos.
Like, it's chaotic, and then your only thought at the end is, wait, is it over? Why is this the end? This
There's no
doesn't make
sense of satisfaction.
Nothing.
No.
And this is supposed to end that Luke Skywalker saga. This is supposed to be like, all right, it's done.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. Star Wars is over. You know? So it's supposed to give you the satisfaction of, you're supposed to be able to watch the first Star Wars. You're supposed to be able to watch A New Hope and watch every episode up until this movie. And then you're supposed to see this movie and then think about the first one and go, wow, this is what Star Wars was building to, and I'm happy it ended the way it did. It's satisfying. Things make sense. It's like reading an amazing book.
You know, when you put it like that, it's a lot more upsetting.
It is.
It's a lot more upsetting.
This is what I was thinking about. It's like you're supposed to watch these hours and hours of film. Maybe even watch the prequels. Maybe watch the fucking Clone Wars show. Maybe you watch The Mandalorian. Maybe you watch Solo. You watch every single one. You know, like we fucking did.
Yeah.
You know, like we fucking did.
Yeah.
And then instead of the last movie being well thought out and satisfying, and overarching and genius. Like it should have been. Which I don't think is too much to ask for. Genius relative to Star Wars. Not genius like for a movie in general. But it's going to be a 10 out of 10 Star Wars because it has to be. So you take your fucking time. You write it. You test screen it. With people who aren't just going to suck your dick and say yes.
I'm not going to say this movie feels lazy, but what I'm going to... Sorry, I'm looking at the cover for
the thumbnail.
And I really fucking like it. This movie doesn't feel lazy to me as much as it feels.
It does. Or I mean, like, it doesn't
why.
even feel lazy. It feels like it feels like they were actively trying to hurt my feelings. Like actually, it feels like they were trying to make me upset.
It feels like them trying to go. We have to appease as many people as possible.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Did we talk about that, or was that like before that we were actually like?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Remember, I was like, it's Disney trying to please everyone.
Well, that's what it is. It's them trying to be like, oh, we really pissed people off with this last one for some reason. And so they're trying to win back their hearts for whatever reason. And it's so safe and dumb at the same time. It feels like a companion piece to The Force Awakens, I'll say that. Last Jedi is so out of left field. It is a Star Wars movie in which not a single lightsaber hits another lightsaber. It's fucking insanity, but I love it. I like it. Let me say that. That was a bit far. I like it because of that. Whereas this movie feels like a companion piece to The Force Awakens in the sense that it is so safe and boring. It's nothing.
I'm not bored by it. I'm
Baffled?
fueled with hatred.
You're baffled by it, I'd imagine, right?
Absolutely.
It's weird.
I am baffled by how bad it is.
This is Star Wars, Susie. Do you remember the magic you felt when you were a little kid watching Luke Skywalker being told by a little green man to use all of his mind to lift something out of a lake? And it's like, oh,
he does it.
He does it.
And he does it. And he has to train for 3 movies so he can save his friends.
And then in this movie, there's a tiny lesbian kiss in the background while Disney pretends to applaud themselves for being
And guys, get this.
Rights.
We're not going to censor it in China because one of them looks like a guy anyway.
It was censored in a country.
Not China, though.
No, okay. Well, Star Wars does shit in China.
Yeah. They were like, hey guys, you know how every movie's made for China? Well, not this one because they don't like it.
We're so awesome. Meanwhile, Star Wars makes $10 in China every year, so it's literally nothing. They shouldn't applaud themselves.
$10. It's a
single ticket.
Yeah, George Lucas flies
to
China
George
to go
Lucas
watch it.
Flies into China. No one will attack me here.
Ni hao.
As he moves his head, is fucking like his 10 pounds of excess neck skin flap in the wind.
Do you guys like Star Wars?
Do you like Star Wars? You know, I made a Star Wars once. That's why Yoda's blood is green. I thought about it for 10 seconds.
You know, the TIE fighters are based off you guys.
What?
Oh, George, don't say that. But they're Taiwanese. They're not.
Oh, George.
George. I'm so glad everyone liked my movie. Oh, I know, George. I know. I'm glad that people think I'm really good at making movie. Yeah, George. Everyone loves you.
You're the best at making the movie, George.
Could I make more movie?
No, George.
Please?
Never again.
Please?
Have you seen the interview with him? He's like, oh, I make personal films now. only to be seen by me.
Only I watch them.
No, for real. Have you seen this?
Know.
He's being interviewed, and he's like, they're like, so what are you gonna do? All this money, all this time? He's like, oh, I'm gonna make personal films. No one else can see them.
I watch them. He just films himself jerking off.
Yeah, I masturbate in my home theater.
Fondling his balls in different ways.
I pretend to be Pee Wee Herman in my home theater. I have actors come in as cops, say, arrest me.
Their dialogue is really bad. They always complain about it. But I'm like, hey, I wrote it.
Have you ever heard Harrison Ford talking to George Lucas?
Yeah, no. Like
the famous line, you can write this shit, but you can't speak it.
Yeah. You can write this, but you cannot. Yeah. And there was an interview with Mark Hamill where they were like, is it true that Harrison Ford threatened to tie up George Lucas and point a gun to his head and make him read the script out loud? And then Mark Hamill just goes, yeah, it was actually.
Han, you don't, I mean, fucking, what's your name?
I mean, good for Mark Hamill, like, kind of sticking to his guns on loving Star Wars. Because he loves Star Wars.
You gotta love Mark Hamill.
I love Mark Hamill. He's my favorite Joker.
I love Harrison Ford. I really do. I think.
Oh,
It's
me
great
too.
how
He's
cynical
fucking
he is.
hilarious.
He's.
I love how much he doesn't give a shit.
It makes me happy to know that somebody who's affected so many people in so many ways
Just
does
doesn't
not
care.
give a shit.
It's like Santa going, "What?" Like when it's like, "Santa, thanks for the dog." He's like, "Oh, did I give you that?" Yeah, no problem, dick.
You know, Harrison Ford is in this movie for a brief scene we talked about to talk to Kylo Ren, but he's not a Force ghost. He's just like a memory.
Yeah, he's just there.
He's just kind of there. So clearly, it's just Adam Driver or Kylo Ren, sorry, just talking to himself and like going by the words that he's putting into his own head. And Harrison Ford is so clearly just dragged on set. His hair's fucking crazy. He hasn't shaved. Like,
Yeah, no, his hair grows in the afterlife. It's like Superman and Death of Superman. You know, in the comic Death of Superman, Superman dies, and then when he comes back from the dead, he has a beard. Like, it's like, oh, I guess his cells were growing anyway.
I just wish he still had his fucking earring in. Like his actual real life earring in that scene.
I know, yeah.
It'd make me happy.
Have you ever seen the interview he had on Ellen, where Ellen was like, "Who's your wife's celebrity crush besides you?" And then Harrison Ford went, "It's you."
I have not seen that.
Yeah, no, he's literally just like, he has his head, like his fingers like on his face.
He just doesn't care.
He's like, "You."
He just doesn't give a shit.
He's like, "My wife's gay." Like,
the first thing that he could think of because he doesn't fucking care.
yeah, no, he saw a Maserati that he wanted, and he was like, "That looks cool. Maybe I can put that in the new Indiana Jones." And then they're like, "Oh, you know, if you buy that, you can't afford your new bullwhip." And he went, "Oh, well, what's going to get me a couple $1 million?" And then they're like, "Well, Ellen has been begging to sit down with you." And he's like, fuck it, I'll go on the Dyke Show. Harrison Ford could call me like various slurs, and I would be like, "Yeah, that's Harrison Ford for you." That's Indiana Jones. I'm not going to question that. Like, I feel like if you went up to him and you went, "Oh my God, you're Han Solo," he'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my face." But if you went like, "Dr. Jones," he'd be like, "Hey kid, what's up, man? Yo, what's good, N-word?" Like, he'd throw up gang signs. He'd be like, "That's my fucking shit. That's my shit right there." You know the man that everyone wants to be? No, not Han Solo. Indiana fucking Jones. You know, the guy who works with his hands and kills Nazis with whips. Yeah, that's me. Who wouldn't want to be that?
You know it's fucking crazy to think about, Susie.
What?
The three main characters in our 3-act trilogy only meet each other and are all in the same room for the first time at the end, the very end, the final scene of the second movie in the trilogy. Poe, Finn, and Rey are only together on screen, the three of them, for the first time at the very end of the second movie in our 3-movie trilogy.
You know what this movie feels like?
What does this feel like?
This movie feels like a somewhat competent, well-written movie that was like, and then like Seth MacFarlane made like a Family Guy Star Wars out of it, and then they just made that instead. Lois, this is just like the time I directed a Star Wars movie.
So what's your final thoughts on...
No, it's terrible. Shitty. I hate it. Negative points if I could.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I've told you, I mean, I've said it a million times, I don't want to sound too repetitive, but I fucking hate it. And it is genuinely offensive to me.
I know. My perspective is more, this is a really dumb movie that happens to know how to have fun at some moments. It feels like a really, really competent fan film.
It's a dumb movie that goes off. Its base assumption is that you too are retarded. Welcome to the land of goo, where everyone's retarded, including you. See lightsaber, his sword a blue. Everyone's here. Palpatine too.
I don't...
Hear the voices in Rey's head. Did we mention Palpatine's not dead?
That's pretty good, Susie.
We heard you loud and clear, your Star Wars wish. End the movie with an incest kiss. I'm making this up as I go along.
I'm really proud. Star Wars is the second incest kiss now.
Yeah.
Look, I don't hate it as much as you do. I think it's a really...
No one fucking hates it as much as I do.
That's probably
if someone
true.
claimed they hated it as much as I do,
You'd punch
I
them.
would like fight them in real life. I'd be like, oh, you think you hate it as much as I do? I will go watch that movie, and that will be the only training I do to come beat your ass. Conor McGregor could be like, "Hoy, I fucking hated the new Star Wars more than anybody," and then I'd be like, "Yeah, come fucking fight me, midge lad. Come fight me, you fucking midget potato man. You dirty little spud person."
So I don't hate it as much as everybody else, I don't think. Like,
Yeah.
I dislike it. I think it's bad. It's my least favorite in the trilogy, obviously. I think it's a terrible conclusion to a franchise, but it's a franchise that had no direction. Or at
True.
least this trilogy.
Preach. That's church.
There was nothing to be... I sympathize a little bit because the backlash to The Last Jedi was so, to me, unwarranted. So they almost couldn't go anywhere. And because of that, I don't know where they could have taken this movie, but really it's just anywhere but
You know what?
Death Star.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Can we like stop talking about Star Wars and just improvise a different movie? Like a totally
We're making a
different
movie.
Let's just, I mean, anything. I don't fucking care. Like let's make a new Superman movie. Let's make a new Batman. Let's make a new, like, Gone with the Wind. I don't care, but I'm so burnt out on Star Wars. I'm so burnt out on Star Wars, man. I just fucking played Star Wars Sekiro and fucking, or Sekiro, whatever. I don't care. Anime language. And so I could not give any less fucks at this point anymore. Let's do anything. Let's talk about anything.
So, Spies in Disguise. Fuck. What is that shit, dude?
It's nothing. It's more 3D CGI animation that makes me fucking vomit.
Yeah.
Why don't people draw things anymore?
I don't know, Susie.
Why?
Hansel.
It's because 2D drawn animation just can't, you can't press a button and make it happen. There's no auto in between frames with that. But 3D animation does its fucking self. And I hope one day someone who makes 3D animated movies comes up to me and is like, actually, I was an animator on this, and I had to make all the blinks, and it took me 3 days. and then I would say, fuck your time. And I wouldn't care. If your movie isn't if your animated movie isn't hand painted, then I don't fucking care.
You know,
I'm not impressed by this shit anymore.
I don't dislike 3D animation innately. However, I do dislike lazy 3D animation.
I hate that it has no style. It doesn't have a style anymore.
No,
it's blank paper at this point.
No, it is. It's the cute. It's a very cutesy, like, just almost cliched.
They have big eyes and they have caricature proportions.
3D animation has become what a parody of 3D animation would be in an Adam Sandler film 20 years ago.
Maybe.
I think it is.
Yeah, hit the animate button.
Yeah.
But like Spider-Verse is amazing, you know? That's 3D and 2D.
Yeah.
All you have to do is add a style,
Yeah.
and I'll probably like your animation.
Yeah.
But they don't. The new SpongeBob movie is a fucking Avengers movie. Or it was. I guess there's another one coming out about like Gary Come Home, which is also done in 3D because they were like, guys, do we really want to just animate it and make the animation look better than the normal show? Or do we just want to like call it a day? And they were like, we can call it a day. The fucking SpongeBob Christmas TV specials look better.
Well, do you
The
remember
fucking
claymation?
foam claymation ones. Yeah.
It's great.
They're great.
Yeah.
They look adorable.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is like a fucking sponge. It's cute. Patrick like looks fucking weird and insane. I will lock Santa in my box like Fort Knox and make him suck my cock. Like
you know, I don't think that's a line.
it is.
Hey, let's talk about Scooby-Doo again.
Scooby-Doo! There's a fucking 3D animated Scooby-Doo coming out!
I'm so sorry, but there is. It looks really bad.
We didn't even mean to talk about it. God, it looks so bad. And Shaggy doesn't sound like Shaggy. He sounds like a guy.
What's Shaggy supposed to sound like?
Like Scoob, we gotta fucking go suck each other's dicks. Like that. And then Scooby's supposed to say, ruh-roh! Jeepers!
So anyway,
Jinkies.
Anyway,
And Fred says, fuck.
you play,
Pokemon.
You see the new Star Wars?
I did, actually.
You gonna talk about
It
it?
was really good.
Oh,
I loved
liked it. I liked it a lot.
No, I loved it because these things happened. And, like, I knew what was going on. And, like, some stuff confused me, but he's probably just too smart for me.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
Like, I didn't know why Palpatine was back. I thought Vader killed him. And I thought that was, like, the whole point of his character. But, I don't know, J.J. Abrams got a big brain.
Yeah,
He got a really big brain.
I mean, in order to bring a character back from the dead, that takes some fucking intelligence.
I mean,
how did it happen? They
Well,
thought
remember, like, they say this, the dark side of the Force is, like, it leads to powers that are unnatural.
Yeah.
Like, that someone can say, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I love that one throwaway line. It made me happy.
I'm kind of afraid to say that it doesn't make sense because I feel like people would attack me.
It makes perfect sense. Everything about it.
It does.
I love Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
I love Star
People
Wars.
hate the prequels because they're bad, but it's like, yeah, they're bad, but they're Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
Jar Jar Binks is really funny.
I love Star Wars.
I love Star Wars, dude.
I love Star Wars.
It's so good.
I really love Star Wars.
You know what we need?
More Star Wars.
We need a 3D animated Star Wars movie.
I think we need more Star Wars.
We need, like, more Star Wars.
More Star Wars.
And, like, the new game that came out, like, it's kind of hard. And, like, that's not Star Wars.
Challenge.
I bought it because I thought it'd be like battle. I thought it was going to be like a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was
With, like,
it was challenging.
Health regeneration.
And, like, it had
easy item pickup.
It had a story.
Really?
And I was like, what the fuck is this?
I only buy it for the sound effects and the light swords.
And then I was like, when do I get to play as Darth Vader? And I looked it up on YouTube, and I couldn't find anything. And then I posted it on GameFAQs. I posted my question on GameFAQs, and then someone responded, and they were like, you can't play as Darth Vader. And I was like, what about Yoda? And they said no. They said no.
Did you return it?
I tried. They said I couldn't do it because I drooled on it. And I was like, but that's Star Wars.
I love Star Wars.
I also, dude, I got it, like...
I love Star Wars.
I remember one time when I was a baby, George Lucas came and he shat on my head. And I said Star Wars. Those were my first words. And just ever since then, I've loved them.
Star Wars?
You know, those two words that just make me so happy. You know?
Remember when Chewie died by Force lightning from a protagonist?
I was so scared. I cried for 5 straight minutes, and then they brought him back, and
You only stopped crying when he popped back up on screen.
I would probably still be crying, you know?
How did you get over Ham Sirloin's death in The Force Awakens?
Oh my god. Don't bring it up.
Anyway,
I love Star Wars. I'm glad they brought Palpatine back, because even though he's a villain, like, he's in Star Wars, and, like, I don't know how I could handle someone in Star Wars not being there anymore.
You know what I think we need to do, Susie?
End this podcast.
You know what I think we need to do?
What?
Clap for Star Wars real quick.
You know what?
Yes.
I
love Star Wars.
I really do.
I love Star Wars.
I wish I was a Jedi.
I wish I was
If
Star
I was
Wars.
a Jedi, I could use the Force to make my dad stop hitting me.
I'd buy Star Wars.
I would buy Star Wars.
I love Star Wars. Do you love Star Wars? I love Star Wars.
I do, and I don't think anyone else does.
No one. It's
like it's just so good.
It's the best.
I really love it so
I
much.
miss it. I can't wait for the new trilogy.
There's gonna be another one.
I hope so.
I mean, I gave this one money.
I gave this one a lot of money.
I'll give the next one money.
I bought every Star Wars. I love Star
The
Wars.
little porgs. Can we talk about porg?
Well, they're so cute.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
All right, this is over.